Boardwalk on the hotline, Bob Nightengale, USA Today, baseball writer. He's been putting out a lot of nuggets, including yesterday's news, Patrick Corbin signing with the Nationals. I would have liked Corbin, not for the money.
No, yeah,
you want to come here for cheap, I'll take you.
Yeah, if you want to come maybe on an intern type salary, that'd be great. But I mean,
check you out, what it's like, get a couple of innings.
Just get a feel for it. You can put it on your resume, get the experience network.
He was an all-star.
It just doesn't make sense in today's game, right? I mean, I'm curious what Bob has to say, but it's, for that money, for that length, no thank you.
Well, Patrick Corbin, he's a Nat. What does that leave the Phillies if they're looking for pitching? We'll get into that. Where does Bryce Harper stand? And so much more. Bob Nightengale doing a great job during the Hot Stove League at USA Today. He joins us now on the Boardwalk Honda hotline. Bob, welcome back. And Corbin in Washington now with the Nationals. So you look at the left-handed pitching market out there, not as strong today as it was yesterday. Number one, was that a surprise that Corbin chose Washington?
Yeah, I mean, you thought he was going to, choose the Yankees. I mean, he grew up a Yankee fan, generations of Yankee fans. But the Nationals were only ones that went to 6 years. The Phillies right in the hunt, too. I didn't think they'd be outbid. Yeah, they certainly outbid the Yankees. But I think the Nationals kind of surprised everybody by coming out of nowhere.
Yeah, the Phillies involved on Corbin there 5 years. I mean, that's for starting pitching, Bob, in today's world where these guys only pitch 4, 5, 6 innings. Is that a lot of money in your mind to give to a starting pitcher?
Well, just forget it's not an ace. And I don't think anybody in the world thought he was an ace. A very good pitcher. But, probably a number, 2 pitcher in the National League, maybe a 3 pitcher in the Miracle League. Certainly not an ace-type guy. He's been very good last year, but he's had Tommy John surgery and a few other things. So certainly there's no guarantee how good he'd be. I mean, he was only pitching, about 6 innings a time in the National League West. And the National League West is, the easiest division to pitch for pitchers.
Bob, you mentioned Scherzer, Strasburg, Corbin. That's a pretty good top end of the rotation there. So Aaron Nola, he's at the top of the Phillies rotation. I guess Arrieta would be next. Is there a guy that the Phillies can turn their attention to?
Well, if they want a nice, veteran guy with a nice, credentials and a great teammate and clubhouse leader, it'd be Dallas Keuchel. I would think now that he'd be asking for, at least $100 million. And, if Corbin's worth that, he's certainly worth that as well. But at least Keuchel for years, was the ace of that team. He's not going to blow away with the fastball or anything like that. But he knows how to pitch and, induces a lot of soft contact and things like that. And, they get people excited.
You had mentioned on Twitter at B. Nightengale that the Phillies are going to not be outbid. They got out-yeared, but the last time we had spoke, you made it pretty clear that the Phillies were going to spend stupid money and go after a guy like Harper Machado. And really, I think you mentioned $400 million when it came to Harper. Is that still their intention?
No, it is. And I think now after getting, Segura from the Mariners, that Harper makes more sense. Particularly moving Hoskins to first base, now you have a bigger need for an outfield spot. So I think Harper, that's clearly the favorite landing spot. I think the only team that could really jump in there and hurt their plans would be if the Dodgers got serious, and offered, over $350 million just because it's close to his home in Vegas. But otherwise, I don't see why he would, go to Chicago White Sox. I don't see any other team really be involved. Not that kind of money.
Bob, Harper was brought up, so obviously I have to follow up with Machado. And what's the status there? Do you still feel like the Phillies are close to the leader in the clubhouse to land him? And if not, what do you anticipate to be their backup plan if he doesn't land with the Phillies?
Yeah, I mean, I would think that Harper would have a precedent over Machado. Hey, Machado wants to play shortstop, and, Segura's playing short. So, you can go a number of different directions. I mean, if you want a third baseman, you go get a Mike Moustakas as well, at a much cheaper rate and, nice power hitter. But, move guys around. Yeah, so I think Harper, just, the fact that he's a corner outfielder, the fact that Hoskins now is playing at first base would be a much bigger priority.
And a name that we've heard recently, now that Corbin goes to the Nats, is J.A. Happ. Do you anticipate any type of reunion there? What's the status with J.A. Happ and where he can go?
Well, I mean, Happ's certainly a possibility there. They probably have to, negotiate along or outbid the Yankees, because Happ seems like a logical fit there. Eovaldi seems more of a fit, back with Boston. So it's certainly possible. You negotiate with Happ and you negotiate with Keuchel at the same time and try to get one of those two guys.
Bob, you mentioned Segura. Number one, let me get your opinion on that deal. Clintack, really his first major deal in terms of a trade that he has, where he swapped everyday players. How did you think Philadelphia fared in that deal, getting rid of Santana, giving up JP?
I thought it was a steal, to tell you the truth. I mean, the fact you're able to dump off Santana's contract. Obviously, JP was not performing up to expectations. I think they wondered or questioned whether he ever would. Say, Crawford probably needs a change of scenery. And I think Segura needed to change the scenery too. Fabulous player. He got into the fight with D. Gordon in the clubhouse. They weren't crazy about the makeup there. But, third time he's been traded. But a star player. And the fact you got two more pieces out of it as well. I like Nicasio bouncing back like that. So I thought the Nat Clintack did a marvelous job there.
Now, Clintack said that Segura can play, several positions. He has played a lot of second base too, but shortstop is where they intend to play him. If Machado says, I want to play for you, but I have to play shortstop, would the Phillies be saying, all right, Segura, you're going to have to play second?
I'm not sure about that, because Segura's an all-star shortstop. You don't want to, you want to get the most out of him. You don't want to offend him either and say, we'd rather have an all-star shortstop than just an okay second baseman or an unhappy second baseman. So we'll see. I would leave him where he is and tell Machado, hey, we're going to spend, give you $300 to $400 million.
Right.
You play where we want you to play.
Any idea what that means for guys like Cesar Hernandez, Scott Kingery, guys who were here and are kind of both second? I mean, Kingery, I guess, would be in that second base mix now, or maybe back to the super utility role.
Yeah, I would think. Try second base. You don't give him that contract if you don't think he's an everyday player. And you could be a super utility role. I mean, it worked for Ben Zobrist. He was the MVP of the World Series,
right? And
he didn't have a natural spot. So you can certainly be a super utility guy and play 5-6 days a week. Those guys are viable that can move around.
Think of the Met deal to get Cano.
I liked it. I like the fact that, obviously get Diaz. And, the Mets knew that Phillies would get Diaz.
Yeah.
If they hadn't stepped up, he was going to be a Philadelphia Philly.
I was surprised that the Mariners were willing to give up on him. I mean, I know they're rebuilding, but he's a young guy.
Yeah. I guess they're thinking is, hey, we're not going to win games anyway. So what use is it to have a closer? We're gonna stink. So I could see that logic, and the Braves are in it too. I love the NL East right now. It's my favorite division because you have 4 of the 5 teams absolutely going for it, and keep an eye on what each one's doing.
Bob Nightengale at B Nightengale on Twitter as the Phillies. What are the possibilities that the Giants move Bumgarner?
I'm not sure. The one thing about Bumgarner, and people aren't paying attention to this, he's not the same Bumgarner as old. I mean, he's not the guy that was a World Series hero in 2015. I saw him a decent amount, living in Phoenix in the Bay Area, and he's an okay pitcher now. He was like a number 3 pitcher. Now you go to a smaller ballpark, much easier to pitch in San Francisco than Philadelphia. So as long as you didn't give up much, I'm not sure how much, how good of a pitcher he is. Mm-hmm. He's got that name, but he's not the ace anymore, not even close.
Yeah, and a lot of his name is built on being, a big game pitcher, not necessarily a full regular season guy.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, I mean, everybody remembers what he did in that World Series.
14, he was excellent.
A lot. Yeah, and last year, when he came back from the broken finger, broken hand, what he had when he got hit in the line drive, he was just okay, and that was it. So I think if San Francisco's smart, they'll hold on to him and try to deal him in July and get that value up. Because right now, I'm not sure. He's better than number 4 starter in the Phillies.
All right, Bob Nightengale. So before Christmas, will we see Machado and Harper give Christmas presents to fan bases?
I want to say no. Talking to the both agents just the last couple of days here, I think they're both going to take their sweet time. Both of them want to make sure that someone doesn't blow each other away. Harper doesn't want to sign first and get less than Machado and vice versa. So I got a bad feeling it's going to stretch out into January.
Wow. All right. Happy New Year, everybody. You're going to have to wait. Bob Nightengale doing a great job this offseason, but enjoying following him at B Nightengale on Twitter, USA Today here on the Boardwalk Honda Hotline. Thank you, Bob.
Sure, my pleasure. Thank you.